Love is needed every day, a special feeling in every way. It's like magic when you find love is always on your mind. Every heartbeat needs a light.
Tijuan, a beacon of warmth with his neat buzz cut and solid build, hummed a soulful tune, preparing for another bustling breakfast. Beside him, the tall, serene Chandler, his long dreads swaying, flipped pancakes with an easy grace. Their Victorian home, nestled in the heart of the floating island of Luminaris, stretched and yawned around them, its wooden beams humming with the island's magic. "Kids, 5 minutes." Tijuan called, his voice a gentle melody through the lively house. Upstairs, chaos was already brewing. 16-year-old Jamal, his teal-tipped wavy hair falling into his eyes, was sketching furiously in his oversized paint-splattered clothes. He was trying to animate a particularly stubborn dragon, oblivious to the impending breakfast. Next door, Olivia, petite and graceful, her long braids jingling with colorful beads, had her phone cranked, its music literally making the room's lights pulse with energy. Owen, her twin, lanky and thoughtful in his professor-esque attire, was deep in a book, its pages glowing softly as animated vines snaked across his wall, whispering ancient wisdom. But the real trouble was just beginning. 5-year-old Leo, a wild cinnamon-skinned whirlwind in mismatched clothes, was on a secret mission. He'd found a strange, glowing trinket in Tijuan's study, a miniature clock, ticking with an odd, insistent rhythm. Fascinated, he'd squeezed his eyes shut, concentrating. He wanted to make all his toys appear in the living room at once. Leo, with his ability to blink and rearrange objects, had a knack for creative chaos. But this time, something went spectacularly wrong. Instead of his toys, the entire house shimmered, groaned, and then reconfigured. Walls shifted, hallways twisted, and the familiar warmth of home turned into a disorienting, shifting maze. "Uh-oh," Leo mumbled, looking around at the now unfamiliar looping corridor. Molly, a tiny hurricane of 7-year-old energy, burst out of her room, her rainbow tutu shimmering, her light-up sneakers flashing. Her mocha-toned skin was usually glowing with excitement, but now her fluffy curls framed wide, panicked eyes. "Leo, my unicorn, it's gone." A loud, insistent bing-bong echoed through the house. It was the breakfast bell. Tijuan and Chandler were already at the table. In the kitchen, Tijuan looked at the pancakes, then at Chandler. "Did you hear that? Sounds like the breakfast bell," Chandler replied, a slight frown on his face. But it also sounded looped. Back in the labyrinthine house, a terrified squeal erupted from Jamal. "My sketchbook. It's on an endless loop. My dragon just keeps eating the same toast." He pointed to a drawing that, true to his word, showed a perpetually chomping dragon. Olivia's music was now a dizzying, looping melody, and the lights in her room flickered erratically. Owen's animated vines were endlessly repeating the same single word. Time, time, time. The breakfast bell bing-bonged. Again, closer this time, almost as if it was in the hallway. Molly, clutching her missing unicorn spot on her hip, suddenly understood. "Time loops. Leo, you broke the house." Her sparkly wardrobe seemed to hum with her rising panic. "We're going to have breakfast forever." Leo's eyes welled up. He hadn't meant to. He just wanted his cars. "Wait!" Molly's eyes landed on the small, glowing clock in Leo's hand. It was the source. Her 7-year-old mind, fueled by glitter and pure instinct, knew what to do. Molly's gift was enchantments that transformed her glitter into protective shields. "Everyone!" she shrieked, her tiny voice cutting through the looping chaos. "Follow me!" She plunged her hand into her fanny pack, pulling out handfuls of shimmering glitter. As she threw it, the iridescent dust expanded, forming shimmering, translucent shields that pulsed with a rainbow glow. "Jamal, draw a way out," Molly commanded, her voice surprisingly firm. Jamal, snapping out of his panic, began to sketch a winding path on the walls, and the lines glowed, outlining a real, albeit shimmering corridor through the shifting walls. "Olivia, make noise." "Big noise," Molly instructed. Olivia, still a bit stunned, cranked her music to 11, and the sound waves, amplified by her gift, pushed against the looping walls, making them tremble. "Owen, tell us the way." Owen, clutching his glasses, consulted his glowing book, and the vines on the wall pointed down Jamal's sketched path. "Hold hands," Molly ordered, her small hand reaching for Leo's. "We have to stay together." The bing-bong of the breakfast bell was deafening now, reverberating off the looping walls. They could almost smell the pancakes. The house was trying to pull them into the perpetual breakfast. Molly led the charge, her glitter shields shimmering around them, deflecting the temporal currents that tried to pull them back into the loops. Jamal drew, Olivia powered, Owen guided, and Leo, clutching the glowing clock, just tried to keep up. Willow, the 3-year-old baby queen, suddenly piped up from Chandler's arms. He'd finally found them, looking bewildered. "Go this way," she giggled, pointing to a wall that had just opened into a familiar hallway. Willow's whispers to Luminaris itself had found a crack in Leo's accidental magic. With a final, concerted push, bursting through a shimmering glitter shield, they tumbled into the familiar warmth of their kitchen. Taichwen, looking relieved but thoroughly confused, stood over a perfectly normal steaming plate of pancakes. Chandler, equally perplexed, held a giggling Willow. "Breakfast," Tijuan announced. As if nothing had happened, Molly, breathless but triumphant, held up her glittering hands. "We made it! No more breakfast forever." Leo, still holding the small, glowing clock, just smiled. He'd have to be more careful with his blink and rearrange power next time. But for now, breakfast, for the first time that morning, felt truly, delightfully real.
Love is on your mind. Talking about love. Love is on your mind. Talking about love. Love is on your mind. Talking about love. Love is on your mind.